Ms. Powers, you do the most important work perhaps in the world. We are faced, and I want to thank you for doing it. We've got the supplemental bill that's come over from the Senate. And all the talk is that's money for Ukraine, money for Israel, perhaps Taiwan. But there's a lot of money in that bill for humanitarian purposes. Some of it, Congress explicitly indicates where you're supposed to spend the money, and the rest we give the administration discretion. If we pass that bill, can we be assured that, assuming the security conditions are adequate so that you can actually operate, and things can deteriorate, we realize, can we be sure that money will be spent in Armenia, in Tigray, in Sudan?
Yes, and I'm happy to elaborate.
And Eastern Congo and the Rohingya refugee camps in Myanmar? Correction, in Bangladesh?
Yes, and maybe I just because you often ask about Ethiopia specifically, I just give you one fact as to why this is so very urgent. The humanitarian response plan in Ethiopia right now, which is is not something that's been mentioned prior to you mentioning it, is the proposal is for 3.2 billion people. That's $3.2 billion. That's the level of need. 15.5 million people. It is 4% funded right now.
Oh my God.
We are way down.
We obviously have to. I do want to move on, and I think the ranking member, of course, brought up the humanitarian needs in Haiti and Gaza, and I believe that money from that supplemental bill would go there as well, security conditions permitting, correct?
Correct, correct.
Now, a somewhat harder question. There are two reasons to give foreign aid. One, it's the moral right thing to do, and the second, the title of this hearing, that it helps our geopolitical position. And we're politicians, we recognize that cutting the ribbon, that taking credit for good things is important politically. And so you have people on the ground who tend to just want to focus on getting the job done, feeding the hungry people. We had resistance 10, 15 years ago against even putting the flag on the bag, because we had partners who didn't like America. They wanted the American grain. And so obviously you cannot legally give money to any terrorist organization or any organization that provides material aid to terrorist organizations. But is your part of your process in deciding which partners to fund looking at whether those organizations use their very powerful and U.S.-enhanced bully pulpit to attack America and its allies or to support our foreign policy? How do you get people in your organization who just want to feed people to care about the second reason we fund foreign aid, the geopolitical?
Well, let me actually thank the chairman, because some of the legislation that his team and maybe working with you have initiated on branding is really, really important, because it's actually the law.
I'm particularly concerned that an organization very close to Hamas, rhetorically at least, is getting, and has over many years, and while they've supported Hamas rhetorically, been getting aid from USAID, and I'll put additional material in the record and provide it for you as well.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.